Good morning and welcome. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of our moms out there. And I hope that you have a very special day. I hope that God blesses you with times of remembrance and joy, and that you have a great family time today. This morning we're going to read from Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25 through to the end of verse 28. And here's what God says. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she laughs at the day to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and instructs of kindness is on her tongue. She watches the goings of her house, and the bread of idleness she does not eat. Her children rise up and call her blessed, and her husband, he praises her. And once again, God has spoken to us through his word, and it's such a beautiful passage. So happy Mother's Day. If you're the mom, mama, mummy, whatever your children call you, perhaps, even to grandmas and grannies and omas, those who've stepped up to help raise your children, to all you ladies who've been instrumental in the lives of the children God has brought into your life, perhaps even in your church family or in your neighborhood or even the workplaces where God has placed you. Often there are the younger workers who come in and they need the guidance, and they find the love of a caring individual who instills in them some of the values that they've instilled in their own children. So on this day that is set aside, we want to express our gratitude for mothers, not just our own, but all those mothers that we know, including those who were motherly in their interactions with us as we grew up, who treated us as family at some point in our lives. Mother's Day is that day set aside for that celebration. It's a time for us to come together with our mothers who are still with us, to contact them and let them know how much we love them and thank them for all that they did for us. Now, if our mothers have passed away, we might find ourselves reflecting on any of the special moments we might have had with them. And God has given us memories, and we cherish them, and we thank him for those beautiful times. Now, speaking from my own personal experience, I know that not everyone has had the same positive experiences as others have. And on Mother's Day, it can be somewhat of a painful, hurtful reminder of something they missed out on in life. My own brothers and I, we had difficult times with my mother. And while they chose to cut her out of their lives, as a believer, I always made a point of being there for her, giving her the forgiveness that she so deserved. So on a day like today, I love seeing mothers and children celebrating together. It brings such a smile to my face to see that interaction, and I thank the Lord for families. Now, still, this is a special day, and we need to also remember that motherhood has not come so easily for so many women. For others, the joys of motherhood have been challenged by the difficulty that life has placed on their children, even their adult children, and just on that relationship. The enemy just wants to destroy family, and so he has strained so many of these mother-child relationships to try and destroy them. My birth mother passed away several years ago after a lifetime of struggling with alcohol and drugs, and I often wondered how she felt on Mother's Day, and if the memories of a child lost were so painful that the vices she was consumed by helped her in not remembering the having to give me up. None of the challenges that any mother has had to endure has ever gone unnoticed by God. He even included some of them in his word. We think about Eve and her firstborn, Cain, killing his own sibling, her secondborn, Abel. She had watched them grow up together and probably never thought that would happen between her own children. And to make it even worse, he was sent away. She lost him as well. Think about Jochebed. She had to take Moses and, in a sense, give him up. She didn't know at the time that God would allow her to become his wet nurse and be allowed to be influential in his upbringing, probably until he reached the age of 7. Then she knew she had to give him up again. Although Moses likely knew he was a Hebrew, there is no evidence he ever returned to his mother again. And when God calls him back to Egypt, he's 80 years old. His mother has long passed away. Then there's Hannah and that story. She struggled with infertility. And then when God gave her a son, she had made a promise and she gave him up in the service of God. Sometime between his 3rd and 5th birthday, she took him to the temple and left him to be raised in the temple. And she only got to see him once a year. And we know that she made him a little robe, and every year the robe got bigger. But at some point, when did she really get to establish a relationship with him? Then there's Mary, the mother of Jesus, who cherished the moments of his childhood in her heart. That's what scripture tells us. Only to have it pierced, having to witness his slow and brutal death at the hands of the Romans. And then in believing that she had lost him forever when he died, not truly understanding that when he said he would rise again from the dead, that he would. Now, when God created woman, he blessed her with a special blessing. He made her in such a way as to be able to grow a life within her. She would get to experience her child, know her child, long before that child came into the world. And they would have a bond that no man would ever know. To understand how special women are to God and how he designed them, how he revered them, we looked at and read this morning Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25 through 28. And there's such great words, the strength and the dignity and the laughing at what is to come. How she opens her mouth with wisdom, teaches kindness. She looks at the ways of her household, does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, as does her husband, and he praises her. He says, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. These are incredible words of praise that come right from God the Father. He speaks of her strength and her dignity as if they were clothing, as if it were something that she wears, what people are to see when they look at her. He has given her strength, not in the sense that she is the strongest, capable of lifting the most weight, but just as steel can support a great load without breaking, she can bend a lot, and still she holds under the weight of some of the greatest tests. Her strength varies. She is personally strong. In matters pertaining to her own life, she handles them all very well. In social situations, she is strong, capable of providing support for friends and for others. If it could be considered political strength, she's able to handle the responsibilities of authority within her home, within the church. And she does it with dignity. The word hadar refers to the meaning as if it were majesty, as if she were a queen, confident in all that she does. And so much more than that. It says she laughs almost derisively, mockingly at what is to come. There's a certainty in her confidence. She knows that she can handle it, and she is not afraid. Then God speaks of the woman's wisdom, her ability to know what to do and what to say in times of conflict or in positions of responsibility. God has given her that strength, the strength to step in between, say, fighting siblings and intervene in disagreements, mediating an agreement between two opposing factions, like when a board game can become physical or someone isn't sharing their electronic device. As parents, I'm sure we can all identify with those sibling arguments and rivalries. But moms have a way of coming up with very excellent compromises. In connection with her being wise, she passes along the teachings of kindness. She knows God's word and takes the laws, the words of truth, and instills them into the next generation. She knows God's loving kindness, which he revealed in his forgiveness of the wrongdoing of his children, while made possible through his son. These words are always on her tongue. These words flow from her mouth. But they are more than just words. They are shown by her to her children and to her family, even to strangers. She lives the truth. The next part of the passage reveals that God says she looks well. He's not speaking of her outward appearance or how healthy she keeps herself. God is talking about how she keeps watch over her family. The Hebrew word is tsafa. It is used in the idea of spying. She knows what is going on in her home and in her neighborhood. As it pertains to her family, she knows all the day-to-day happenings. She knows. God says a mother is attentive, that she looks after her family. He says that she does not eat the bread of idleness, which means she does not allow idleness to become a daily occurrence in her life. God's not talking about her taking time to rest in her daily activities. He's pointing out that sitting around day after day is not how he created her to be. And then the passage finishes up with these words. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. It's better read this way. Her children raise her up. It's a reference to someone putting up a statue. A mother is to be so revered that her children believe she should be memorialized, never forgotten. That they should look up to her, recognizing her greatness and all that she has accomplished and the role that she has played in their accomplishments. Even her husband praises her, not in the sense of worshiping her, but he shines her. That's the Hebrew word, halacha. His words and actions her words and actions bring joy and delight to her. It lights her up. And these are God's words. They are not written for use on one day out of the year. They're not written on a card, but they are written in his book. These are the words to be acknowledged every day about our wives and about our mothers. They are special in the eyes of God, and he created them to be special. And so they deserve that same recognition that we read in this passage every day, not only from their husbands, but also from their children, and also that recognition from those around her. And I hope as a mother that you receive that recognition on a daily basis, not just today. And I hope and pray that you have a wonderful Mother's Day. God bless.